Hey everybody, welcome to the Mana League. I'm John as always, and it's time for something a little bit special. We are going to open a box of Eldritch Moon a little bit early, about 12 hours early or so. Not quite as early as we opened that box of Eternal Masters, simply because shipping was slow this time around. So I was at my local game store, the Gamers Emporium, here in London, Ontario, Canada, at Wonderland and Oxford. Make sure you check them out. And the owner was opening boxes to get prepared for tomorrow's release, so that he has binders full of singles. And rather than open all of those boxes just in a corner by himself letting no one see, we decided to open one on camera so that you guys can share in it. So we're going to open up this box and see what's in it. Alright, so here we go with the first pack. I am recording this from in the future after I open this, so if any of the commentary is awkward or pausey, it's because I'm not recording as we opened. But up first we had a Sanctifier of Souls. It's a decent limited card. It pumps out spirits and gets bigger every time a card comes down. But we also had a Bruna, which is much better than Sanctifier of Souls. A little bit expensive in limited, but still a pretty darn solid card. Unfortunately, only a couple of bucks. Sean was opening the next pack. He flips onto the back, and what does he find? He finds Impetuous Devils, the new Ball Lightning, and no rare flip card, unfortunately for him. On into my pack, let's see what we get. We get ourselves a Morn Willow that I showed to the camera for some reason, thinking it was a rare. It's not. The rare is a Wharf Infiltrator. Decent imitation of a Looter Ilcore. And we get a Foil Forest, because hey, who doesn't not like foil lands? Off to Sean's pack. What does he get? He gets himself, just a Tamiyo. Just a Tamiyo. Pretty darn good. Possibly the most expensive card. I can't remember offhand right this second as I record, but very expensive. And a Fibrous Entangler Tangleclaw Wolf, because there was some miscommunication on what cards we were showing to the camera. Off into my pack, hoping for something decent. Although, of course, this isn't my box, so it doesn't matter if it's not decent. Stitcher's Graft. Very not decent at all. But another rare flip card. My second rare flip card in a row. Handwear Battlements. Off to Sean's pack, we get ourselves an Eternal Scourge. It's eternal, it just keeps coming back and back and back and back and back. Although, the only time I played against it, I killed it once and it never came back, so who knows if that's true. Off back into my pack, we get ourselves a Coax from the Blind Eternities. Yay, it's a terrible card. Terrible, terrible card. Although worth a couple bucks, so from a store's perspective, not too bad. Stromkirk Occultist, a card I definitely want to play with. I want to see if it's decent enough in draft or not. Obviously, probably not really going to be good in constructed formats outside of casual stuff, but still decent. Back to my pack, flip onto the back. What do we get? We get Collective Defiance. Just a very, 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 very good burn spell. I don't know enough about Constructed, don't know if it's going to be great, but in Limited it's fantastic. And an Ulrich to follow with the Flip Rare cards. I'm just getting all the Flip Rare luck these days. Back off to a pack from Sean, we've got a Soul Separator. Very cool card. I love, 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 love the flavor behind it, the mechanics behind it, but it's just not a good card, unfortunately. And a Docent of Perfection, another rare flip card. Docent I got to play with briefly in my pre-release. Unfortunately, I wasn't quite the right deck for it, so I never got to flip it. But I'm going to slam first pick that so many times in draft. Cryptbreaker was up in my pack. Another decent enough card. I'm going to get so slammed for saying decent. What did I say last? In Eternal Masters, I think I said fine or something, and I got blasted in the comments for saying it too much. But anyways, it was decent. Lupine Prototype is the rare in this pack. Good old Mecha Wolf. Terrible, terrible, terrible card. I'd love to see somebody make it work in Limited, but I just don't think you can. Off into my pack, flip onto the back, and we got a Bedlam Reveler, which in foil is surprisingly expensive, so somebody must think there's a home for it somewhere. In non-foil, it's not terribly valuable, so who knows. Bedlam Reveler. Off to a pack of Sean's. He opens up a Collective Brutality. Not quite as good as Collective Defiance, I don't think. Not in Limited anyways, but still fine, still fine. Off to a pack of mine, open it on up, Waxing Moon sitting there on front. There's been some debate on whether or not that's playable, and I pull an Emrakul. Emrakul, the Promised End, in the middle of the box. Not promised at the end at all. Back off to Sean, what does he get? He flips onto the back, finds himself a Gyre Reach Sanitarium. Fun story, Sean actually opened 2 of those in his pre-release pool in the pre-release. But hey, there's a foil Bruna to save that pack a little bit. Fancy, fancy foil back of a meld card. Very cool to see. I definitely want to see somebody assemble the foil Brizella. The full foil, not half foil. Half foil would look ugly. Back to a pack of mine. We crack it on open, flip to the back, and there's a summary dismissal. That's all I've got to say about that. Just But there's also a foil Newscraft Mob. Absolutely amazing card in Limited. I will snap first pick that every time I see it. Unless, of course, there's something like a murder in the pack. But it did a lot of good work for me at pre-release. Back to a pack of Sean's. Flip onto the back. And he pulls himself a Distended Mindbender. Again, a totally fine card. I played it in pre-release as well. It was quite solid. And there was a foil Sigardian Priest back there, a very first pickable card. And a random foil Tameo makes an appearance. She was also opened at one point, and she will be at the store for sale, of course. Back to a pack of mine. Distemper of Blood there on the front. Don't think it's good, but some people have said it could be okay. But in the back is an Eldritch Evolution. Very cool card. I don't think it's very good in Limited at all. But definitely there's going to be some brews for that in Constructed, where people think it's the second coming of Birthing Pod. And it could be. It could not be, but it very well could be. And we get Soul Separator number 2. That's not the duplicate card that we want to see. We'd rather see a duplicate Tameo or duplicate foil Gisela or something. But no, we get a duplicate Soul Separator. Flipping onto the back of my pack, we get a Splendid Reclamation, worth a few dollars, but totally stone unplayable in Limited. Of course, I do focus on Limited, if that's why you're wondering why I'm not talking or giving great insights about Constructed. I don't play enough Constructed. Flip to the back of this one, and there's a Mirror Winged Dragon. Awesome card. And a foil Enlightened Maniac was in the back of that pack there as well. Mirror Winged Dragon, another card I really, really, really want to play with. Ripping on open my pack, there's a Wretched Gryph on front. Very cool card. Permeating Mass, a card I don't really want to play with. I want to watch a match beside me play with it, but I don't personally want to play with it. I think it's pretty darn bad in Limited. Sean opens up another pack and flips onto the back and finds himself an Identity Thief, and no rare flip card, unfortunately. Identity Thief, another cool card. There's a lot of cool cards I really want to play with. I'm going to draft the heck out of this set, just because so many of the mechanics seem really, really, really fun. Flipping onto the back of my pack, we've got ourselves Thalia's Lancers. Pretty hard to go off with in Limited. You have to get lucky and pull a legendary along with it, but it's still an okay creature nonetheless. And a foil Nephalia Academy in the back of that pack. Sean's opening up, I believe, his last pack here. And he opens up a Emrakul's Evangel, and no rare flip card, unfortunately. We had a lot of rare flip cards at the beginning, and then we just kind of faded off. Oh, that wasn't the last pack. Never mind, ignore what I'm saying. Open up my pack, flip to the back end, Ulvenwald Observer, big, giant whoop. I don't think this card's very good in Limited. It just feels like a dumb beater to me. It's just not what I'm really looking for in my packs. I'll keep an eye on it, but I don't think it's very good. Flipping to the back of Sean's pack, he opens up another Impetuous Devils, another Ball Lightning of Devils. Again, another very cool card that I want to try in Limited. I want to try most of these cards in Limited, except for Coax from the Blind Eternities. That'll light on fire. But I do want to try a lot of this. Imprison the Moon is in my pack, another awesome card. Again, unfortunately not super high in value, but just a really, really cool card. Foil Woodland Patrol, probably not going to be the darling of Legacy decks everywhere, but in the pile it goes of fancy things. Flipping to the back of Sean's pack, he opens up, you know, just a Gisela. So we got both halves. We got actually both halves plus an extra Bruna, but one of those Brunas is foil. So we do have the Brizella combo built. Opening up another pack of mine. Boy, I really misguessed that we were on the last pack there a few ago. Flipping onto the back of my pack, we've got ourselves Stitcher's Graft number 2. So we have had 2 duplicate rares, not counting the foil Bruna. And, yeah, they were pretty bad. And a Sigarda's Aid that Sean got way too excited by that Gisela and forgot to show. But there was a Sigarda's Aid as well. Now I believe Sean is opening up his final pack. Actually, no, he didn't. Never mind. That is not the final pack. Nahiri's Wrath. Nahiri's Wrath is a fantastic card. I've seen a lot of people think that this is terrible and really bad card disadvantage. It's not. It's just really, really good. And you don't even have to discard Madness cards. It's really, really solid. Take it in draft all the time. Flipping to the back of my pack, we had an Assembled Alphas. relatively expensive, but still decent. I would never pick it over good solid removal, but still decent. Sean's opening up another pack, flipping to the back. What's he get? He gets himself Heron's Grace Champion. I find that name really awkward. Heron's Grace Champion. I feel like that's not the final name they really wanted on it. It just feels awkward. Opening up another pack of mine, I flip onto the back, and I find a collective effort. We almost got... Actually, no, we did get the collective cycle, because there is no blue collective one. But we got the white, the black, and the red. And there's no green one either. Sean's final pack, rubbing it for luck, and he gets a Sanctified Spirit and a foil Laboratory Brute. The rubbing did no good, but that's the way the box ended up. In just a couple seconds, I will do a recap of the relatively valuable cards. So that's going to wrap it up for this box opening. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully your boxes are just as good, if not better. And if you do want to get your hands on any of those singles and you are in the London, Ontario area, you should go to the Gamers Emporium at Wonderland and Oxford here in London. But as always, I will be opening my own personal box once I actually get it tomorrow. I will probably have that video up on Sunday. But hopefully you guys enjoyed all that. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me on Twitter at TheManaLeak. That's L-E-E-K, like the vegetable, not the card. And you can also find me at Facebook.com/TheManaLeak and Twitch.tv/TheManaLeak. You've already found me here on YouTube. You've got that comment section down below. Please make use of it. Click that thumbs up icon if you like the content, and click that subscribe one if you want to see more. But as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, see you all next time.